was just telling my viewers the skill to take landing those aircraft here in this short runway.
It's a very short runway. It's harder landing than the takeoff. The takeoff's a little easier, for sure. The
And
landing takes a
where's
whole
the
different
cables
skill.
at?
Cables are way in the back.
Right there?
First of all, that's the front of the ship. That makes it the back. All operations, that means all takeoffs and landing are in this direction. You take off from the catapult over there, that you see, and you land from the back in this direction.
When you say in this direction, doesn't matter where the wind is blowing?
No, it does. That was the next thing I was going to bring up.
Okay.
Always the ship is turned into the wind. So today, the wind is sort of coming over in this direction. So you would turn the front of the ship into the wind. You cannot, you don't want to. And I've never known anybody to ever take off a carrier with a tailwind or land with a tailwind. Because you have such a small area for taking off or landing, the tailwind only makes it longer. You want the wind over the wings of the aircraft. So that means you never have a crosswind on a carrier. Always it's into the wind.
How fast does it take to turn the ship, just in case during wartime you need to take off? How fast can it turn?
You can get it around in about 3 or 4 minutes. It's not going to be that big a deal.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
All right.
And they usually, remember, we have radar. We know what they're coming. It's just not all of a sudden here they come. And we've known that they've been coming for some time. And they'll position the ship, the carrier, as well as the escort ships around it to protect it. They're all going to turn around and go into the wind. The ship doesn't operate by itself. It operates with about 10 or 15 other ships around it to protect it. The first level of protection on an aircraft carrier are the planes themselves. Secondary are the ships around it. The very last level of protection are the guns that we have.
Oh, so regular patrols are out there.
Plus we have a cap. We call it a cap. He's up on the air, flying over the ship, protecting the ship. It's well thought out. It's just not. Sometimes that doesn't come across in movies. They just don't suddenly show up. They'll do that. They'll show you that in the movies because it's dramatic, and they don't have time to explain it. They're trying to get it going, moving it along at a pretty good clip. But if you get the idea and you're entertained, then Hollywood's doing its job. They're not there to educate you. As an example,
how many one aircraft carrier normally, how many ships would be around it?
10 to 15.
Oh wow.
And 2 of them are submarines usually underneath. You don't even see them.
So it's a whole system moving.
It's a whole system. It's all the guards to protect the airport wherever it goes.
Wow.
Excuse me for just a second. Sorry to interrupt. Did you notice a group of guests led by volunteers? See where those scouts are against the fence over there? There's a gate. I just happened to catch a bunch of heads going along the catwalk there. And I got over there. They were going in. They shouldn't be. I wonder if that's originated down below.
I have no idea.
Did you happen to notice
No.
torque and down? Well, there's no torque up there.
No, there's no turret down there.
Okay.
I know it's down there, but that's not a place to take people.
No, on the catwalk.
Well, it's not only that, it's the combings are very high down there.
Yeah.
It's dirty, no one wants to go down there.
And they had, looks like one of the new volunteers, one of the kids that kind of tail in.
Very interesting.
You want to see how the catapults work on
Sure,
this?
sure. How fast does it go, the catapult?
They can have an airplane moving at 105 nautical miles an hour. That's in statute miles at 120 miles an hour.
In about
Statute's like the way your car is calibrated.
In about what? 5 seconds?
No, much faster than that.
Oh wow.
Okay, so let me explain the catapult. Oh, who took away my catapult? Okay. So first of all, that comes down. plane is directed up ahead, and that goes back up. And the reason for it going back up is to protect the next airplane. This is the
From the
Navy.
blast?
You're protecting airplane, not people. You tell where people need to be. Plane comes forward. This is a ramp right here. It stays right there. This is a ramp. Notice it's graduated to get the nose wheel of the airplane over this piece of equipment. That's a shuttle. You see how it goes down that track? Now, if you're in the metric system, it's about 68 meters. It's 200 feet. That shuttle will go from here to the end of this track in less than 2 seconds.
What?
You go 1, you can't even say 2, and it's already down there. 1.7 seconds.
What powers this thing?
Hydraulic. They call it hydraulic. It's really pneumatic.
Okay.
Let me explain what's going on. There's a big vessel down about 6 decks from here.
So basically a giant shock absorber?
No.
And you release it?
No. Well, sort of. Sort of.
Okay.
You understand preloads, evidently, from my statement. Okay? So this big vessel has hydraulic fluid. It's an enormous amount of hydraulic fluid. There's a little cavity above it. And from that cavity are 4 lines that go over to 4 other vessels that are filled with compressed air. 3,500 pounds of compressed air. So it's like